Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So, welcome to the Bhagavad Gita Sarartha Varshani Tika of Srila Vishwanath Chakra Thakur and the sub commentary to Sarartha Varshani, which is called as the Rasika Ranjan. So, we have been studying the 13th chapter. We had now five classes we had. So, today and tomorrow, together, there will be seven classes on this. We are going slow because this is very philosophical and a lot of concepts are there which slowly we are trying to digest. So we have seen up till the last class uh, Arjuna six questions: Prakriti Purusha, Kshetra Kshetragya, Jnana and Geha. Krishna answers what is Kshetra and Kshetragya, and then he answers also Gyan in the third verse itself. And then the means of Gyan is given in 8 to 12 verses. And what is Ge? In that way, he's answering what is Kshetra, what are the Vikas in the Kshetra, what are the qualities of the Kshetra, and who is the knower of the Kshetra, what is the influence of the knowers, Geya, influence of Paramatma we saw. He is Sarvada Pani Parzam Tat, all that we saw. Now, after building these concepts of Kshetra and Kshetragya, and what is jnana and the object of knowledge. Now Krishna comes to the outermost loop. See, there are three concentric circles because they build on these concepts, build on. Let me draw and explain. So there is this uh, Kshetra and Kshetragya. He has built this concept and then around it he has built the concept of what is jnana and Geya. Now, in the outermost loop is Prakriti and Purusha. So, he is going to now define Prakriti and Purusha because to define Prakriti and Purusha, we have to understand the difference between Kshetra and Kshetragya. And uh, how this Purusha, he is entangled in Prakriti to understand what is jnana, what is gaya, we should know. So that is why Krishna has built, although Arjuna asked first the Prakriti and Purusha, then Kshetra and Kshetragya, then Jnana and Geha, Krishna decided to answer first Kshetra and Kshetragya, then Jnana and Geha, and then Prakriti and Purusha, because these concepts, there is a conceptual building blocks, which is linear and building up here. So that's why he is now going to answer Prakriti and Purusha. So let's go to this section now. Answers the first and the second questions. Krishna explains Prakriti and Purusha and their union. Okay, so the $1,000,000 question is answered here. Many devotees have this question. It will come up in the Bhagavatam also, but in the Bhagavad Gita, it is more dealt philosophically. And let us see what Vishwanath Chakra Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur have to say in the commentary on this. Okay, let me recite text of 20. Prakritim purusham chaiva vidyanadi ubhavapi vikaramscha gunanshaiva viddhi prakriti sambhavan. So I have mentioned whenever Krishna says Vidhi means just try to understand, just try to know. So twice it has come in this verse because this is more difficult. What? Know that Vidhi, both Prakriti and Jiva. Prakritim Purusha Chaiva Ubhavapi. Ubhav means both. This is Bahuvachan. Hmm? Are without origin, Anadi. So there is no question. The connection between Prakriti and the Jiva is called here as Purusha, is Anadi. And know with that the gunas and its transformations. Now, here is a little, enigmatic line. First thing you need to know, two things you need to know. The first one is Vidhi Anadi Ubhavapi. That the Prakriti and the Purusha, are both Anadi, Ubhava. Both are Anadi. They are both are without origin. But now the second thing we need to know is the Vikars. Vikarcha Gunanshaiva. Know and know Vidhi that the gunas and its transformations, Vikaramsha Gunansh, all arise from Prakriti. They don't arise from the Jiva. They are all arising from Prakriti. Now, this will be further elaborated, but I will explain now. In the next verse, it will become more Vidhi Prakriti Samavan. So, the Vikars are all arising from Prakriti. Now, let's take this example, and in the next verse, it will become more clear, but I will explain this in the example now so that we can understand this. Vikaramsha Gunanchaiva Vidhi Prakritin Sambhavan. Now, we all have an experience, of course, I think not now, before coming to Krishna consciousness, of a cricket match in the stadium. You've gone there, your favorite team is playing, and it is the last ball, and he has to hit a six. So, you can see there is the bowler here, and there is the batsman. Yeah. Now, there is the ball. I've shown it big just to make it clear. And there is the bat. Not so good in drawing. Please forgive me. Now, the ball comes in contact with the bat. And the ball goes out of the stadium, which is the 6 runs. Now, if you see, everything which has happened is in the realm of Prakriti. The ball is made of matter. The bat is made of matter. And the movement of the ball, is all in the realm of matter. Vikar, the transformations, Vikaransha Gunancha, Vidhi Prakriti Samavan. So this coming and hitting, but, you know, absolutely there should nothing should happen. But what happens? Anyone knows what happens? Anyone like to describe what happens? Whatever has happened is in the realm of Prakriti. A bat comes in contact with the ball, and all this has happened in the realm of Prakriti, and the ball moves out of the ring and goes and falls somewhere. So all these activities, actions have happened, all these transformations are within the realm of Prakriti. But what really happens when such a event happens? Anyone knows? Raise your hands. I gave a very simple example. Somebody would like to try. I hope you're following the discussion. Are you all with me? Yes, Shrishti Mataji, Shrishti Gupta Mataji. Yes, I have unmuted you.
Yeah. By hitting the ball, either you win or you lose.
Now, okay,
See, I
the
don't know
ball
whether
is.
they needed 6 runs for winning. So if they
Yeah.
needed 6 runs for winning, they win
No,
the match.
see, the transformations, what have happened now? The ball coming in contact with the bat and the ball moving out of the ring, which is a six. All these transformations have happened in the realm of Prakriti. You agree to it?
Yes.
But who gets affected?
Uh, the batsman.
Batsman gets affected, bowler doesn't get
Act-
affected.
actually, both. Actually, both.
Both. Okay. What about the spectators who are the most getting affected there?
Spectators, those who are siding the winning team, they are happy.
They are happy.
Yes.
And those who are siding the opponent team because their team
They are
lost, they are
unhappy.
sad.
They are
Correct?
unhappy. They are unhappy.
Yes. So actually, there is nothing to be happy or unhappy. Why?
Mhm.
Philosophical question, you feel, eh?
There's nothing to be happy or unhappy.
Unhappy, huh?
But we do feel happy, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that is what. But why you have to feel? This verse is saying Vikaranshcha Gunansheva Vidhi Prakritin Sambhavan. Everything, all the transformations are happening. They are happening in the Prakriti
Prakriti.
only.
Yes.
So why, just the ball fell there. What is, somebody who doesn't know cricket absolutely has no zero idea and he's sitting, he'll neither get affected, yes?
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
least bothered. Sthita Prajna.
Least bothered. Why people are becoming happy, why people are going sad, what has it, the ball going there has to do it. So, this is what this verse is saying. Vikaransha Gunanshaiva Vidhi Prakritin Sambhavan. Now, let us go through the commentary and we'll go to the next verse. Then I will more explain about this. Okay?
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Dandavat.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. Let's go to the next verse and more we'll understand this, what really Krishna is trying to say. Okay, Arjuna says, you have described the Paramatma as the knower of the field. He is the Kshetragya, but he is Sarva Kshetrasya. But speaking of the Jiva, who is also the knower of the field, the Jiva is also Kshetragya. How does the Jiva come in contact with Maya and when did it start? So this was also, what Krishna would explain. He had promised in Bhagavad Gita 13.4. Yata, yatascha, you know, if you remember well. Okay. Yat Kshetram cha yadrik cha yad vikara yatascha sacha yo yat samasena tarshunu. 13.4. Let's go to that so that we are familiar. Yeah. Yat Kshetram yat cha yadrik. Yat Kshetram yat cha is what is this field composed of? Yadrik is what are its qualities? And yad vikar is the transformations. Yatascha from where it originates. And yat is from what varieties it is known and who are the knowers. So there are the two knowers of the Kshetra, the Paramatma and the Jivatma. But how the Jivatma becomes entangled in this Kshetra, you know, which is the Prakriti. And what are his powers? We have already studied from verse 13 to 18 that we have studied. Now Krishna is answering Yatascha. So I hope you are clear now. You are able to follow this. I had mentioned here. Uh, Influence of the knower is there. How, when, and where the body is produced. Text 6, 21 and 22 will discuss more in detail. This is a What changes the body undergoes? 7 and 20 is there. The vikars, are all happening, transformation are happening in the where? They are happening in the kshetra only. They are happening in the Vidhi Prakriti in Sambhavan, Vikaransha Gunan. I'll give you another example which Vasudev gives to Kamsa. And he says that just like, the moon is reflected on a, lake. And there are waves in the lake. And it seems that, the moon's reflection is moving or its shape has changed. But actually, these transformations have nothing to do with the moon. All these transformations are happening in the realm of matter. The moon is situated somewhere else. It's up in the sky, and it has nothing to do with the transformations which is happening in the water body. So similarly, the living entity is transcendental and it has nothing to do with the transformations in the kshetra. But because it identifies itself as the enjoyer, and that's why he gets affected. So that will come up in the next verse. So I will go to the next verse. Of course, we will first finish this commentary. So Yata has been, know that Maya, Prakriti and Jiva, Purusha are both without an origin, Anadi, having no first cause. So see, both are the Shaktis of the Lord and they eternally exist. So there's no question of, when they came together. This is because they are Shaktis of me, the Lord who is also without origin. The Lord is also without origin. The Lord is also Anadi. Krishna has spoken that how he is Anadi. Yomam Ajam Anadim Cha in Bhagavad Gita 10.3. Krishna spoke about this. Anadi. So the Prakriti and the Purusha, they both are, the Lord Shakti. And this is spoken in the 7th chapter, verses 4 and 5. भूमिरापो नलो वायुः खं मनो बुद्धिरेव च अहङ्कार इति यं मे भिन्ना प्रकृतिरष्टदा अपरयमितस्त्वन्यां प्रकृतिं विद्धि मे परां जीवभूता महाभावो येदं धारते जगत्. From this it is understood that because matter and jiva are both without origin, they are eternally the Shaktis of the Lord. Being my Shaktis, their connection also is without origin, Anadi. But there is a real difference between them. So although both, Ubhav are Anadi, both Jiva and Prakriti and their connection is Anadi, but still there is a difference. What is that? Even though they are mutually connected, there is still difference. What is the difference? Know that the body, senses, and other elements, gunan, and the transformations of the gunas, such as happiness, distress, lamentation, and illusion, these are all the vikars, all arise from Prakriti. These are all arising from Prakriti. Vikaranshcha gunan, Prakriti. What is it? Vikaranshcha gunan, Vidhi Prakriti in Sambhavan. So, this is what we need to carefully try to understand. 13.20. Oh, why is this happening? P3 and P4, third and fourth line. Hmm? Know that the Jiva is very different from Prakriti, which has transformed into the field. So the Jiva is different from this Prakriti. But now, because of this avidya, he identifies himself with his body. And this is a very deep illusion. By the inconceivable potency of the Lord, the Jiva identifies himself with matter, the avidya Shakti. Okay, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I am explaining the result of knowing Kshetra, the field of the body, and Kshetragya, the knowers of the field. So there are two knowers, the Jivatma and the Paramatma. Three tattvas manifest in the existence of the living entity bound by matter. So this is because the living entity is bound by matter. Prakriti, Purush and Paramatma. The Kshetra is known as the material nature of Prakriti. So Kshetra is known as Prakriti. The living entity is known as Purusha. So the Kshetra is Prakriti and the living entity is called as Purusha. And my all pervading manifestation is philosophical, but try to understand it carefully. 1 minute, I'm just checking if there is any spelling mistake here. Three tattvas, Paramatma. The Kshetra is known as mental nature, Prakriti, the living entity is known as Purusha, and my all pervading manifestation, both of them, as Paramatma. So I hope this statement is very clear in both of them. So the Paramatma is pervading in Prakriti and the Paramatma is pervading in the Purush also. He's spread everywhere. Okay, please understand this. His all pervading manifestation Paramatma is there in matter also and along with the living entity as Paramatma in their heart. Prakriti and Purush are both without beginning. Prakritim Purusham Jaiva Anadi Bhavapi. They exist even before material time and thus they do not take birth within it. So there is, they exist before material time because they are Shaktis, they are eternally existing. Just like, fire, actually, when you lit fire, only when the fire is lit, there is light and heat, which are the Shaktis of fire. So, in one sense, at a particular material time when the fire is lit, there is the manifestation of the Shaktis in the form of heat and light. But in spiritual realm, in spiritual time, we have to understand that fire is eternally there because the Lord is eternally there. Shaktiman is always present. So the Shaktis are also eternally present. So that is why even before material time, they are existing and that's why they don't take birth. Rather, they appear by my potency in spiritual time within my supreme existence. So they appear, they manifest by his potency. Under the shelter of mundane time, material nature merges into me and again becomes manifest during creation. So when Lord Mahavishnu inhales all the universes, Prakriti, goes into him. It merges into him. The entire Prakriti merges into him. The living entity is a tattva that emanates from my eternal marginal potency. Please now mark this eternal marginal potency. Just I was giving that fire example, the Tatastha Shakti. But because he has become averse to me, he has been enveloped by my material potency. So this is that material potency, that is the Maya Shakti. He becomes enveloped by the Maya Shakti, and that sometimes the covering is called as avidya. It's nothing but the avidya. So the Maya Shakti, let me put it here only. The Maya Shakti has three divisions. One is, the Pradhan, then there is the avidya potency, there is the vidya potency. So the Pradhan is what gives, the gross body and the subtle body, which is Prakriti. The avidya is the covering on the jiva, and the vidya uncovers. Okay, somehow there is a spelling mistake. Color change. Why did it change? Okay, fine. Okay. So I hope you are clear with this. So it gets enveloped because Bahirmukh, Vaimukh, you become Vaimukh. Samukh means you turn towards the Lord, you turn away from the Lord because you want to enjoy. Although the living entity is in fact a pure conscious entity, his quality is marginal and therefore he has even acquired a usefulness for matter. Because he's a marginal, he can be situated within the material Bahiranga Shakti or the spiritual Antaranga Shakti. That's why he has acquired a usefulness of enjoying matter. Now, conditioned material intelligence and knowledge cannot ascertain how the conscious living entity become entangled in inert matter because my potency of inconceivability. So this is the answer that conditioned material intelligence cannot and knowledge cannot understand this because achintya kalohi bhava, inconceivable potency, it is not subordinate to our limited intelligence. How, just fathom, just think. One rocket, NASA, one tiny brain on planet Earth alone cannot make this rocket. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of scientists, all their intelligence put together. They are working. And just imagine this one planet, and there are millions of such planets, and there is one this huge universe, and there are such millions of universes. So, what must be the potency of Mahavishnu, who is just an Amsha, an Anamsha, an Amsha of Krishna? What intelligence he is going, inconceivable Achintya Shakti he must be having. And how can this Jiva, who is having very limited knowledge, who is subordinate, understand this inconceivable thing? So, that is why it cannot ascertain. It is important for you to know this much only. What you have to know? Vidhi, what you have to know? The connection in Anadi. But what you need to know? That all the transformations as the qualities of the conditioned soul are born from material nature. Vidhi prakritin sambhavan. Vikaransha gunan eva vidhi prakriti. And are not a part of his eternal constitution. They are all born vidhi prakritin sambhavan. So this you need to know. Okay. I'll finish this two verses and then stop for questions before I go to the next section. Please try to hear this attentively and try to understand this. Now, Prakriti Vidhi, what is it? No, Vikaramsha Gunan. So, the Vikaramsha Gunan, how that Vikars in the Gunas happen? Now, this verse is further elaborating. The Vikars are because of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And Sattva, the sense devatas are there. The Rajas and the Tamas is uh, the body, and the senses are in Rajas. Senses. So, Prakriti now, of course, Prakriti is three modes, but based on these three functions, Karya, Karana, Kartutve. Let's recite this verse. Karya, Karana, Kartutve, Hetu Prakrite Ruchyate, Purusha, Sukha Dukhanam, Bhoktritve Hetu Ruchyate. Prakriti is said to be the cause of the connection. Hetu Prakriti Ruchyate. Huh? So Prakriti, we have, if you ask, uh, how was I born? I was born from my mother. That's the standard answer because mother is Prakriti. So from Prakriti, you have come out. So this body. And similarly, at a universal level, it is Prakriti which supplies the gross and subtle bodies I mentioned because of supplying the body, senses, and sense devatas. So the body is called as Karya, the Karana, and Kartrutve. So this will become more clear in the purport. So Prabhupada takes a different explanation, little bit, and that's also valid. Cause effect, like that he takes. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains like this: the jiva is said to be the cause of connection. So this connection with this Prakriti, the jiva got it. Why? Purusha hetur uchyate. Why? Sukha dukkhanam bhoktrutve, because he has a desire to enjoy. This is now the seed. The bij, this verse, the Acharyas say, is the bija vakya for the last six chapters, 13 to 18. So, just like a tree, starts with the seed and you water it, then what happens? The roots. So the seed, the desire, how the living entity comes in this material world is because of the desire. Bhoktrutve is there. Bhoktrutve, you know, and it's like planting the seed and you start watering it, then the roots will come. So these are the three modes. you know. So the three modes will be discussed in chapter 14. And then the tree grows. Okay, again, I'm very poor in drawing. Please forgive me for this. So the 14th chapter describes the three modes, and the 15th chapter uh, is the 15th chapter. Let me see. The three modes, and divine and demonic is the 16th chapter. Purushottam Yoga. Yeah, correct. Purushottam Yoga is the 15th chapter. Ah, okay. I got the connection. I also had forgotten. Yeah. So the 14th chapter, the entire tree, survey the with will come. Entire tree is described in the 15th chapter. Now the upper portion of the tree and the lower portion, that is the Satguna qualities, which are the divine qualities, which are conducive for liberation. The upper portion of the tree is mentioned and the lower portion, which is tamasic qualities, which is takes us to hellish conditions. The entire material existence, Urdhva Mula Mud. Now, this is the 16th chapter, chapter 16. And in between, the upper portion and the middle portion is chapter 17, Shraddha Traya Vibhaga. And just like chapter 2 was the summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Ashtanga Yoga. Similarly, chapter 18 is the summary. Krishna had spoken in summary and expanded now till chapter 17. Now, all the concepts, including the three modes, everything he will summarize: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. And he'll speak especially about Ananya Bhakti in the last few verses. So that's how, this verse 13.21 and 22, you can say, is the Bija Vakya for the entire last six chapters. Okay, I hope this is clear to you all. So because the Purusha has the desire to enjoy happiness, distress also, follows with happiness. Bhoktrutva is there, the desire to enjoy. And that's why Prakriti becomes the cause of body, senses, and sensitivas, and the Jiva becomes the cause of that connection. Okay. In this verse, the Lord shows the Jiva's connection with Prakriti. Prakriti is the cause of Jiva's unfortunate condition by offering the body, Karya, the senses which produce happiness and distress, Karana, because we enjoy the senses, and the senses we feel pleasure, and when the senses are, because of health reasons, are not functioning well, then they give distress. The very senses which give us enjoyment, those very senses will give us distress. and the presiding deities of the senses. So the presiding deities, which are the sense devatas, that's a Kartrita. Prakriti, by association with the Jiva, transforms into the form of body, senses, and sense devatas, and by its functions of ignorance, avidya, it becomes the bestower of Jiva's misidentification. The Jiva, Purusha, having the position as the enjoyer, bhoktrutve, enjoyer, happiness and distress produced by Prakriti. So everything is happening in the realm of Prakriti. The ball is hitting the bat, both are Prakriti, and the ball, you know, going up in the sky and falling outside the realm, that is also in the realm of Prakriti. But because that bhoktrutve, identification is there, I am Indian, I identify with the Indian team, I am, Australian, or I am Pakistani, like that. So somebody enjoys, becomes happy, somebody becomes distressed. So the jiva is also the cause of the connection, because that desire to enjoy is there. The meaning is this: even though the body, senses, the sense devatas, and the jiva's capacity for enjoyment, bhoktatva, are all qualities of Prakriti, because of the predominance of unconsciousness in the body, senses, and sense devatas, and the predominance of consciousness in experiencing happiness and distress, the two get separately designated as causes according to predominance. So the jiva tendency is there to enjoy, you know, although that's not his constitution. Bhaktivinoda Thakur will bring up that point. According to this reason, it is said that Prakriti is a cause by producing the body, senses, and sensatas, and jiva is a cause by his capacity to experience happiness and distress. So the jiva has this capacity, that is the jiva shakti. That is the shakti of the jiva. It has a capacity, because Krishna also says that jiva shakti, jiva bhutam. It is a tatastha shakti, it is jiva shakti. No, just imagine the potency of this jiva in one life. You know, you can create such karma, you can commit so much sinful activities that maybe for 10 million bodies you might have to take different bodies and undergo that, suffering of karma in that body. You can create, you can create so much of karma in one lifetime. Huh? This is Jiva Shakti potency, capacity the Jiva has to experience. So that experience is what, you know, uh, we want to enjoy, and that experience. So that is what is being explained. Okay, I'll go to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary, and then again I'll give an example to make it more clear. The pure linguidity does not possess an enjoying spirit. Thakur is making, yet in his conditioned state, due to possessing the nature of the marginal potency, the living entity identifies with matter and develops an attitude of trying to enjoy it. You know, so that's it, one line. And then Purusha Prakriti Stohi Bhaunte Prakritinjan Gunan. So Bhaunte. Bhaunte means the desire to enjoy. And he enjoys what? The gunas. And these gunas, till now Krishna has been speaking about the gunas. You know, Prakritin, Jan, Gunan. And the gunas are three modes. So now this analysis of the three modes will be done in chapter 14. Whereas Krishna first spoken of the gunas, first time where did you come across the terminology of gunas in the Bhagavad Gita? Who will answer? Let us see. Where did you first time come across the term gunas? Where did you come across? All forgot. Where did he come across about the gunas? Who remembers? Where did we come across first time the term guna or prakriti? Tukaram Prabhuji, you would like to try?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
No.
Trying to recollect, Prabhuji.
Pardon?
Trying to recollect.
I'll give you some hint. It is in the second chapter itself.
That is the reason I missed those classes, initial classes.
Oh, you have missed it.
Yeah, those classes I missed. Mhm. Really, yeah.
Okay. Who else? Okay. Who else will try? Yes, Keshav Nath Prabhuji. Keshav Nath Prasad Prabhuji.
Uh, is it Prabhuji
Yes.
that Triguna Vishya Veda is three? That
Yes. Excellent. Traigunya Vishaya Veda. Traigunya, three modes. Material nature has this three modes. Traigunya, it is mentioned. Very clear. Traigunya Vishaya Veda. Yeah, correct. Excellent. So, repeatedly, this concept of the three modes, I'm just showing this verse, Traigunya, Prabhupada says, pertaining to the three modes of material nature. So, repeatedly, Krishna has been speaking in many, many instances. The first time it has come in 2.45, third chapter, fourth chapter, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, Daivesha Gunamayi, Mama Maya Durattaya, all those verses. So now Krishna will elaborate the three modes in chapter 14. That's why this chapter is also very important for devotees, for us. The Jiva, okay, Purusha Prakriti Stohi Bhaunte Prakritinjan Gunan Karana Gunasangasya Sad Asadyoni Janmasu. So I mentioned this, this is the seed verse, Bij Vakya. I already have spoken about the Bij Vakya. Both these verses, even this verse you can say is Bij Vakya 13.22, by which the entire 13 chapter to 18 chapters, at least till 17, the flow is discussed. The Jiva Purusha identifying with Prakriti in the form of his body, Prakriti Stohi. Purusha, Prakriti Stohi. Prakriti Stohi means situated in Prakriti. Thinks he is experiencing happiness and distress. Bhongte Gunan, which are born from his mind, Prakriti Injan. This is caused by his association with the body. Karana Asya Gunasanga, because of his, which causes his birth in various bodies of devtas and animals. Sad Asad Yoni Janmasu. Sad Asad Yoni Janmasu. But the jiva, just by misidentification caused by beginless ignorance. Now, again, this misidentification, it is anadi. There's no question of material time there. When? It is anadi. Because the connection with the Prakriti and Jiva is also anadi. So there's no question of when. Thinks that his capacity for action and enjoyment are his very nature. So he thinks like that. To enjoy, you have to do action. Avidya, from avidya comes kama. Kama means the desire to enjoy. And to enjoy, you have to do karma. Avidya kama karma bhi, as Kunti Maharani says. Though they are just the nature of things related to him, body and senses. From this, he takes repeated birth. Situated in the body produced from Prakriti, Prakriti stohi, and identifying with it, Prakriti staha, the Jiva enjoys and suffers by identifying as his own, Ongte, the lamentation, illusion, happiness, and distress, Gunan, which are the qualities of his mind, Prakriti Jan. So all this lamentation, shoka, asochan, anvasochastam, pragyavadamsha basase, gatasuna, agatasuna, nanu sochanti pandita. Gata asun. The life airs have gone. That means the body. And agatasum. Sorry, life airs is a subtle body, you know. So the soul has nothing to do with the subtle and God's body. The subtle is the mind, you know, all the qualities of the mind, happiness, illusion, distress, lamentation. These are all the vikars in the kshetra. They have nothing to do with the jiva. But because the jiva has a desire, he misidentifies. And that's why he suffers. The cause is the contact of the soul, asya, with the body made of gunas, gunasanga. Though the soul does not actually contact the body, the contact is fabricated through ignorance by the inconceivable potency of the Lord, because the two are completely incompatible. You know, this is spiritual, this is material. So, how did that combination take place? It happens because of the inconceivable potency of the Lord. So, that's the point. Where does the jiva enjoy? He enjoys in repeated birth in life forms like devatas, sadyoni, or animals, asadyoni, produced by his pious and sinful actions. Okay, so now here I will stop if you have any questions. Now, again, to explain this concept, uh, Purusha Sukhanam Bhoktutre, and Bhokte Prakritin Jangunam. So, this is a incident, this is a true incident of a famous basketball match which was happening in America. You know, in America, baseball and basketball are the most famous games. And there was one team which was a very famous team, and there was a very famous player in that team who was very tall and he was performing very well. And all the spectators had come with the desire that, we would like to see this team winning. And he did not perform well, and they lost miserably. And when they lost, the whole stadium went into an uproar. They just could not handle this defeat and they started shouting and yelling, The crowd went berserk. And seeing this, huge tumultuous, sound, and, this favorite basketball person, he wanted to calm the crowd, you know, and he took the mic and he said, because they lost now and they could not handle the defeat. Hey, nothing has happened. It's just a game. Why you have to get so this about it, hyper about it, it's just a game. So he just spoke like this, and then they went wild hearing this, already they were disturbed because their enjoyment was disturbed. So hearing this from this person, they just, from the stadium jumped into the basketball, pitch and just started attacking him. They started, looting, violence, and then ultimately the police had to come. And this person could not understand, why the crowd suddenly went so violent. What was the reason? So he just could not figure out why they had to, react like this. So in order to understand, he had to actually take the role of the spectator. And because he was a very famous basketball player, somehow he, you know, uh, masked himself so that nobody will identify him. And as a spectator, he came to watch a basketball match. And because now he started identifying with one team and all the events which were happening, everything was happening in the realm of Prakriti. You know that Vikaransha Guna Neva Vidhi Prakritin Sambhavan. Everything was happening in the realm of Prakriti. But because he is identifying, all the emotions, all the emotions which were happening, they are happening on the level of the mind. And he identified with them and he got affected, you know. You know. Karana Guna Sangasya Sad Asad Yoni Janmasu. Sukha Purusha Sukha Dukkhanam. So this is the reason. But the soul actually, when he doesn't identify himself because of avidya, the body, senses, and externals, he's Atma, he's a witness, he's a Sakshi, and all the transformations which are happening, they are happening in the realm of Prakriti. So if he is self-realized, he will not get affected. So that's what Krishna is trying to explain in these verses. Okay, now I'll stop. Any questions, any clarifications you have up till now, what we have discussed? Any questions, any clarifications? All are stunned. Huh? I hope you could follow the discussion what we had today. Keshavnath Prasad Pruji, you were able to follow the discussion?
Yes, I'm able to, but I'm missing in between classes, Fuji, so I'm catching up.
But at least
Yeah.
today's whole class you were there, na? You were able
Yeah,
to.
I was there. Yeah.
It is a little difficult because to realize it, it takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any questions you have up till now? Okay, Tukaram Mishkin Prabhuji. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandapurna.
Yes.
I am unable to ask you any questions because I have not understood it fully. And I think I will understand it only when I will start understanding it only after your classes are over. I mean, I have to learn again.
Yeah, it takes some time. We have to
Yeah.
slowly,
Yes. I will have
as
to go
long as
back
there are
and start.
transformations happening in the mind, it is very difficult to still the
Yeah.
mind and in sattva understand the topic. That's why Prabhupada, I'm just remembering Prabhupada, when the last final moments when he was on his, way back to Golok Vrindavan, and he spoke those last in the dictaphone, you know, Prabhupada spoke about, that one should, because of this association of the modes, one is, you know, taking these bodies, and that's why one should come to the platform of Satguna, and then only he can understand philosophy. And that's why Varnashram has to be established. So even if there are transformations happening in the mind continuously, you cannot understand the subject. So that is difficulty. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. And
fine.
in that this particular chapter is heavy actually.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Any other clarifications, comments, or questions you have? Okay, so we'll stop here. I don't want to, exactly 1 hour is over. And the remaining verses are very simple. And how everything is integrated into form of Gyan Chakshu, that's also quite simple. That we will see tomorrow. Okay. So thank you very, very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवत गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद